they need someone to take care of, isn't it? And that person who is taking care is you. You're the person taking care of these people. So if you don't you don't give them the proper care, what happens? They are your employers, isn't it? Because the provider pays your salary out of the money that they pay, isn't it? So if you don't take care of them and then they pass, then he has to relieve you your duties because he has no source of income, isn't it? So the better you serve them, the better you provide care for them, the longer you stay in the payroll. So it's good to do this job the right way. So it's called home care, and when you talk about home care, there are several ways that this comes into different ways. We talk about the care team. You're not the only person who is taking care of these people or this person, isn't it? There are people who are lined up who work together to help this person who we are calling client. They are called the client, isn't it? Sometimes they are called consumers, sometimes they are called residents. Okay? So you're the person who is taking care of them. So when we come to care team, we have the care team members here. We have the primary physician. It's just like the way you have the primary doctor. Even a normal person has a primary doctor, isn't it? We have the RN or the registered nurse. We have physical therapist. We have the social worker. Social worker is like the person who is in charge of that client. He's the one who follows up to come and to the client and get to know, is this person comfortable in this home? Is he or she receiving the care that is needed? Because there's no business of being in a place where your needs are not met, isn't it? So the social worker is an important member of a care team. Then we have the caregiver. Caregiver is you. Sometimes they are called long-term care worker. Some companies have different names the way they refer to their health workers. Some call them like direct support professional or support professionals. They are part of the member of the care team. Then we have the family members, isn't it? How that person ended up in that adult family home or in that rehabilitation center or that hospital, there are some people who are concerned, isn't it? Maybe the family members, they were concerned. They brought their brother, their sister, their father, their mom to be taken care of. And they were brought, the reason they were brought there is so that you can provide care to them. And then we have the caregiver, who is you. You are the person who will be with that client a longer period of time. Wewe ndio utakuwa na huyo caregiver na huyo client kwa masaa mingi sana. Kwa hiyo unafaa umshughulikie, okay, vile ipasavyo. So family members, you need to notify them. If something happens to the client, you need to inform the family members. Hiyo hata kama client alianguka, unafaa fanya nini? Unafaa kuwajulisha what happened, isn't it? Yeah, but I cannot bring my dad and then tomorrow nampata akona cast kwa mkono ama kwa mguu and nobody dared to call me and inform me what happened, isn't it? You have to keep them in the loop. And then we have the provider. Provider is the owner of the business. He has to know everything that is happening. In case is you're working for a company, there is always a supervisor who you follow up with. Then we have the client, is part of the team. Yeye ndiye anapokea the support, isn't it? Yeah, yeye ndiye anapokea the support that is needed. So the client has to be informed the care, okay? The client has to be informed the what? The care, about the care he or she is receiving, isn't it? Yeah. So how can you provide care to me if you have not notified whether you support my needs or not? I have to be involved, isn't it? There is a job coach. There are also some clients who go to work in the morning and they come back, even if it is 2 hours or 1 hour, they work, isn't it? And they have a person who is assigned to make sure that from the companies that they are working, they are really doing the job the way they are supposed to be done, they are being paid, what are their goals? You know, there's somebody who help. So the care team has to work together. Any questions so far? All right. Now, when it comes to code of ethics or the professionalism, there's a way you're supposed to treat these people. These people, they are not children. They are grown up. They are adults, isn't it? Mm-hmm. You are supposed to treat them with the respect. Give them respect. Maybe I'm a retired judge, and this young girl from Kenya has come and started slapping me and, telling me or calling me all manner of names. Isn't it? Yeah? Isn't it? Mm-hmm. So you're supposed to treat them with the what? With the respect, isn't it? Yeah, you're supposed also to be non-judgmental. Don't judge them. Treat them with respect. Condescending is treating an adult like a child, isn't it? If you yourself will not be happy to be treated like a child, you treat them the way you would love to be treated as well. You're supposed to have a pleasant attitude. Sometimes tunaamkanga na attitude. Anasema mimi asubuhi sitakangi kusalimia mtu. Isn't it? Yeah? So you have to treat them with respect, have a pleasant attitude in the morning. When you get into their room, what do you do? Before you get in, privacy practices. You knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. You don't just, even your own, you don't like somebody just invading your privacy just like that, isn't it? You want to make sure that you are treating them in the right way. You are giving them a chance. You knock the door, knock, knock, knock. Good morning, Mrs. Smith. How was your night, isn't it? My name is Jane. I'm your caregiver today, isn't it? And I'll be helping you. Let them know. Give them an assurance. Even a normal person requires an assurance that all will be well, isn't it? Yeah? Isn't it? Yeah, and then after you knock in, you greet them, you want to ask them how was their night. That is having a pleasant attitude, isn't it? Yeah. But if you just get in with your stress and then you are turning them and pulling them and putting them in the wheelchair, even your work will be so difficult, isn't it? Yeah, you want to prepare them. Yes, it is okay, they cannot be able to lift themselves, but by just telling them that you want to transfer them from the bed to the wheelchair, that's a big deal, because you are helping them to prepare themselves psychologically, isn't it? You inform them what you want to do to them. So having a pleasant and bright demeanor when you're dealing with them is very, very important. Yeah, if you have stress, I always tell my students, leave your stresses at the door. You pick them when you be going home, isn't it? Yeah. You may be having a lot of stress. Don't think you transfer your stress to the client. You'll be two clients, isn't it? So leave your stresses at the door. Have a caring attitude. You know actions. The good thing is about action. This is a work-oriented, action-oriented kind of job, isn't it? So how you do it, how you prepare them, how you complete a task matters a lot to them, isn't it? Yeah, so just prepare them. Let them know what you're going to do to them. Let them not see like you have come to make their life miserable, isn't it? By threatening them. If you don't take shower, I'm not going to give you lunch, isn't it? You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to have, treat them with respect and let them know that the main reason why you are there so that you can help them. You're not there for any other business. You're there so that you can help them. So show caring attitude. Be flexible in terms of schedule. And there is something we call the care plan. Every client has a care plan. And you're supposed to read the care plan, because that is what helps you. That's what helps you to understand the client. Let's say this is an adult family home. Okay? Let's say this is an adult family home. Let's say this is an adult family home. You want to know, first of all, if you come and I tell you this is John, or this is Mrs. Smith, that is not enough, isn't it? Because maybe you have reported when we just took breakfast, isn't it? You don't know what time I wake up. You don't know what type of food I like to eat. You don't know my likes in terms of dressing, isn't it? There are a lot of things that you don't know about me. So let's say I usually wake up at 8. And Dr. Eunice has come to wake me up at 6 a.m. We have a problem, isn't it? Yeah? And she'll meet a lot of resistance from me because according to me and my mind, I know I usually wake up at 8 and I usually take my breakfast at 9. Dr. Eunice has come, want to wake me up at 6 and she wants by 7 because she has to wake up other 5 residents for me to have taken breakfast by 7. Every time you want to talk to them, you have to understand them well. How does their schedule? What is their routine? What time do they wake up? You know? So when you understand that, your work will become even easy, isn't it? Yeah? I like wearing suit from Monday to all the way to Thursday. Then Friday I like wearing some casual clothes. Now, if you come and you put me pajama on Monday, you know, there's a problem. Isn't it? So you're supposed to the care plan is what we tell you. It will also help you to understand, why am I in that home? I'm in that home because I have diabetes, isn't it? That means you have to check my blood sugar every morning, isn't it? You have to monitor, isn't it? Maybe I'm there because of high blood pressure. You have to keep monitoring my blood pressure, isn't it? So that helps you to meet my needs at any particular time. But if you don't know anything about my care plan, and also the care plan also it helps you to understand what kind of a care or assistance that I take from you, isn't it? So if I'm a one assist person, that means one person can transfer me from the bed to the wheelchair and can transfer me from the wheelchair to the bed. One person can take care of my needs, one. But there are some clients, they are two assist person. If they are two assist person, can you go and transfer that person from the bed to the wheelchair alone? No, there's a problem. Because if I fall in the process of you transferring me, who is in a problem? You are the one, because you have not read the care plan, isn't it? So that you can understand this person when she's waking up, she usually helped by 2 people. 2 people must be involved even when giving her shower and dressing and transferring her from the wheelchair to the bed or from the bed to the wheelchair. So you have to follow that. That is your best guide. Well, sometimes you go somewhere where people are working and instead of reading the care plan, the provider or the supervisor tells you, Jane will show you how this job is done. Jane, though she has worked there for the longest period of time, she has not even seen the care plan. So she'll show you wrongly the way she has been doing things long. And until something wrong will happen, you will not know. So, as your community instructor, it is always good when you report to job to ask the provider or the company, can I please see the care plan for this client? That helps you to have the background, what type of care this person receives from that home. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes. Otherwise, you can be orientated in a job, but you are orientated in the wrong way, isn't it? Or sometimes, let's say the client has some medication that he takes around 8 a.m. And the person who is showing you the job tells you that the client wakes up at 9. Now, if some licensor comes and asks you what time does the client takes medication, the client takes medication at 8 a.m., isn't it?
Yeah.
And then the licensor has come so early, maybe 7 is there, or 8 is there. And the client is still in bed, and the medication that are supposed to be taken by 8 a.m., they have not been taken, isn't it? So if you say that the client wakes up at 9, what does that lead to? citation. Why? Because you do not follow the procedures in terms of medication that is taken. So that's why the care plan is an important document for you to lead so that it can help you in terms of dealing with the client. So have respect, accept the values and the beliefs of the client and the family, what they believe. If they are Christians and you are Muslim, don't try to make them to be Islam, to convert them, isn't it? Respect their values, respect their beliefs, okay? Yes. Very, very important. So that is that part, and let's see the other part, what says there.
Good. Be pleasant. Behaviors to avoid.
You're also supposed to avoid, there are some things you need to avoid, isn't it? Being judgmental, don't judge them, okay? Don't give them advice. Okay? I'm a psychological counselor, and one of the things we are taught is you are not supposed to give people advice. You are supposed to give them information, let them process, and let them make the decision for themselves, but don't advise them. Avoid controversial or upsetting topics. You start discussing politics and what side you belong, okay? You avoid controversial topics. Avoid discussing your own problems with them. All of us are human beings and have problems, isn't it? No matters who are you sharing your problem with, isn't it? Don't discuss your problems with the client. Don't talk down to them. Don't shout to them. Don't talk to them when you're standing behind them. Come and stand in front of them, express to them in clearly and in a nice manner, isn't it? But don't shout to them, it's not good. So don't talk down to somebody. You know, there are people who they talk so harshly, they attack the character, they attack the person, they see them, you treat somebody so bad, and yet there is salary that you are receiving as a result of them, isn't it? And I say that they are our employers. So if we don't treat them well and protect them and be there for them, then our job will not be there for long. Don't go with your moodiness. Maybe people, they called you back home, they want money. Yeah, isn't it? And that time maybe you don't even have anywhere, even when somewhere to sleep, isn't it? Yes. So you come to work with all that mood, and then you project to the client. It's not good. Don't take your moodiness to them. Don't gossip. You know there are caregivers who gossip about their fellow caregivers to the client. Or you gossip with a client, with another caregiver about the client. Don't do that. You never know who could be listening, and they have the right to privacy. All right? Yeah. Okay. So the next part.
Being judgmental, giving advice, bringing up controversial or upsetting topics, discussing your own problems, talking down to your client, moodiness, and gossip. Your client and family rely upon you, so attendance and timeliness are especially important. If you're unable to report to work because of illness or emergency, contact your agency as soon as possible. Smoking is discouraged. If smoking must occur, it should be done outside and restricted to break times. Hygiene and grooming. Wear modest, clean clothing, or a uniform if required. Hair should be neat and pulled back. Keep fingernails short and natural. Bathe daily and use deodorant. Wear minimal jewelry. Wear comfortable shoes with a non-skid sole. Telephone use should be restricted to job-related calls, such as reporting to the agency or another member of the healthcare team. Never use the client's household phone